about a problem husbands and wives often face at parties, how to know when the other wants to leave.
It's the season for parties, folks. That time of year when you stand around talking about the weather and trying to keep awake when someone is telling you about their dog's hysterectomy. Don't you feel sorry for the newlyweds or the couples who do not know one another well enough to know when they want to split a party? I mean, they just sort of stand there trying to read one another's faces. I remember when we were first married, I remember standing at a party, absolutely miserable. I had an anchovy under my tongue to prolong the swallowing. And my varicose veins were thumping, and I was thinking, Lord, if my husband wants to leave this party now, just give me a sign. And at that moment, someone bumped into me and spilled a drink down my back, and I swallowed the anchovy. And as I ran to the privet hedge to spit up, I noted my husband was right behind me. And it was apparent to me right then and there that God works in very strange ways. Now, usually, it is my husband who wants to leave the party first. So he got the idea to devise a series of signals to tell me when it's time to move along. You're probably wondering, how can you tell if your husband wants to leave a party? Well, when you hear a car pulling out of the driveway and it's yours. Or when he starts making necklaces out of the raw shrimp. Or sometimes he'll disappear from the room and change clothes to his pajamas and robe, and it isn't even his home. Or when he starts emptying the ashtrays and putting the dog out and checking doors, and he isn't the host. Or when he turns to the dog and says, I don't believe we've met. Or when his face breaks out in a chip dip rash. You know, on a subtlety scale, I guess we're right behind a bar stool proposition and a bulldozer. But I think you get the idea. It works both ways. Like the other night, I saw my husband engaged in a long conversation with a very long and well-stacked blonde. And subtly I went over and I spilled a drink down his coat and whispered, God works in strange ways.